Hello. So before we get to something that I think is exciting, I want to start off with this. I hope that you and your family had an absolutely wonderful Christmas, and I hope that your 2020 has started off with many blessings, and of course it continues during the rest of the new year. So there was something very exciting that happened this month, and it has to do with this paper right here. Okay? So what happened this month was January 2020, of course, this month, has been designated as a National One Health Awareness Month by Congress. If you've been following the posts on disease forensics, if you've been following the topics on disease forensics, then you'll know that One Health is a very important concept that's discussed on this page. If you're not familiar, if this is the first time you've watched any videos, looked at any of my posts, so One Health is the understanding that for a community or niche to be healthy, you need the collaboration of three things: human health, veterinary medicine, and environmental sciences. So those three things have to be present. There have to be collaboration between those three entities to make a community healthy as it possibly can be. So why is this important? Well, the United States has been a little bit behind, quite a bit behind, on really exploring and using the One Health concept to benefit our communities and our country. Now, other countries are far ahead with this. They've been doing this for a long time. Back in 2011, 2012, somewhere in there, I completed a project, a class project, where I interviewed a government organization in the UK called DEFRA. And I was looking at the communication between human health and veterinary professionals. Excuse me. And I found out during that time that they have, for a number of years, and that was in 2011-12, for a number of years before that, they required that community medical boards, various public health boards, had to have both human health and veterinary medical professionals. Now, why is that so important? Why would we want to adopt a One Health philosophy? Well, if we were to look at different studies, depending on which study you're looking at, somewhere between 60 and 75% of all newly emerging infectious disease are animal origin or zoonotic. So it's very important that we collaborate as much as possible. Now, why environmental science? Environmental science has a lot to do with how disease spreads, how we can transplant it from one community to another. Very important. For example, I'll give you a brief example here how it can make a difference. When climate change affects how a bird population migrates, diseases that those birds carry, such as avian influenza, various strains of avian influenza, can be then transplanted to an area that it typically wouldn't have been seen because those birds previously did not migrate. So you have climate change that affects their migration patterns, which in turn affects the diseases they carry and where they basically place them. So when you talk about some of these diseases they could transplant, such as various strains of avian influenza, now you're talking about going into a community where the people in that community or the animals would have what's called a naive immune system. Their immune system had never experienced those diseases before, especially in the concern of influenza that can mutate or change rather quickly. That's a concern. So environmental science is a really important aspect of One Health. So now we have, like I said, this resolution here that says that we have designated January 2020 as One Health Awareness Month. Now, what's fantastic are there are some organizations that have these calendars that say for every day there's a One Health topic, because it's actually quite a big field. If you're looking at anything that would encompass One Health, it's pretty big. It's a huge field, and can encompass a lot of different concerns with disease prevention and so on in public health. So there are on this, there's 31 different One Health topics, because it's one for every day of the month in January, that could be discussed with One Health. So today, if I look at it for the 13th on this map, and I'm going to actually post for some of the ones that I missed since I'm getting started later, I will post some of the other ones for the other days of the month as well. But for today, it's One Health and food security. So there's a big topic with this right now, and it has to do with African swine fever, or ASF. Now, the concern with African swine fever is it spreads rather rapidly, and it can absolutely cause some issues with food security within the pork industry. The concern is that we are even seeing islands somehow acquire this virus. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to post some information for you for today. On today's topic will be African swine fever. But in all honesty, food security can even go avian influenza. That's a concern for our poultry and our food security with poultry. Swine fever, just plain old swine fever. We see this as a concern, especially during times of fair going season, because again, this is an issue with, it's a virus that can infect people. It can mutate and cause issues with people. So we have plenty of examples of food security concerns, but today's focus is going to be African swine fever. Now, if you have any questions, or maybe you want to discuss a particular One Health topic, right down there is the comments, people. You're more than welcome to put it. Let's create a conversation. Ultimately, this Facebook page was created to really encourage conversation about what we can do to strengthen our resilience and resistance against different diseases, specifically including the One Health concept, which is, like I said, it's a huge field. Later today, I'm going to have another recording on a book that I'm going to recommend, so I'll see you again later. Nice seeing you. Happy 2020, and talk to you later.